Following breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ, Saquon Barkley is reportedly going to the Philadelphia Eagles on a 3-year deal, $37.75 million, 26 of that guaranteed. Saquon rushed for 982 yards, 62 yards, pardon me, with the Giants last year, scoring 6 touchdowns. All right, Jeremy St. Louis alongside Danny Kanell, Brady Quinn, and Pete Prisco to talk about this move and some others that we've seen. So Saquon Barkley gets his deal going to the Eagles, who, of course, earlier in the day had lost DeAndre Swift. What do you make of this and the money?
I'll let Pete handle the kind of weirdness of it that he was talking about. But I do, like, for the Eagles, I think it's a solid move. I think Jalen Hurts needs a running back like this in the backfield. And I was worried about the Eagles. This offseason has been pretty rough. The collapse on the back end of the season. You got Kelsey retiring. You got Fletcher Cox retiring. You got question marks along the offensive line. Lane Johnson's another year older. And Jalen Hurts didn't play great last year. But all of a sudden, I think this does infuse some life into that team and into that offense specifically, because I do think Saquon is going to see better numbers counts than he did with the Giants. And from that perspective, I think it's really intriguing that he stays in the division against a longtime division rival in the Eagles, who could use an infusion of life into this offense. So from the Eagles' perspective, without the contract even being talked about, I think it makes a ton of sense to help Jalen Hurts.
It's the best offensive line he's played behind in his career.
Yeah.
He will walk, and it's saying something too, considering you have a first ballot Hall of Famer in Jason Kelsey, who's retiring, and I think you can still safely make that point. To your point about Jalen Hurts and also being a part of the running attack, he's gonna see bigger holes, much fewer in the box count, and also because of the wide receivers they got on the outside to help protect that. So it's a great situation for Saquon Barkley. He's cashing in on a deal that gets him $26 million guaranteed, really over the first 2 years of this deal, which is big for him. I mean, arguably that was probably what he turned down about a year ago, but he still played under the 1-year guaranteed deal, so he got that, and now this. And now it gives him an opportunity, too, to go up against his former team a couple times a year and really take it to him for not giving him the long-term deal that he probably felt like he deserved.
You don't ever want to see production go down for a running back, though. That's never a good look when you see that happen. It could be a signal.
It's tough when you're starting your third, fourth string quarterback, too.
Yeah, well, but still his production's going down. But the other thing, how dare you slander Tommy DeVito? How dare you slander Tommy DeVito?
So let's just do the math on this, too. I mean, he did play a couple less games. So what's the average compared to 2022 and 2023?
It's down. It's down. It's down. And backs get older, and they have more carries on their body. That's never a good thing. But look, I see it from the Eagles standpoint. You need to get a back. This isn't their MO usually. It hasn't been. You go out and pay a running back. They traded for Swift. He went in there, did some good things. He left. They let Sanders leave the year before, and now you're paying a running back to come in there and as a free agent. It's different for them. I understand it. You make a good point. The box will be lighter. It'll help Hurts. He has receivers on the outside who can stretch the defense, which will help back teams off. So I get it, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He gives some mismatch problems as well.
Which, again, we talked about this still. Like, outside of defense, if you're looking at the offensive side of the ball, where's their need? This is probably
I would have spent my money on the defensive side of the ball.
You still can. This is only taking up $12.75 million per year of that cap over the next 2 years.
I would have taken $12.5 million, doubled it, and spent it on defense. The defense was horrible last year.
Plenty of cap space to do that.
Well, I would have done even more. I wouldn't have spent it on the running back. Even more.
Giants have the 6th pick in the NFL draft, and now the RB1 on their depth chart is Gary Brightwell. So
they'll find one in the third round, and he'll end up being a good back, and everybody will look back and go, boy, they were smart not spending the money on Saquon Barkley. You watch. It'll happen. It always happens.
So if the Eagles beat the Giants twice this year and Saquon goes off, you think that's going to be the conversation?
If the Eagles beat the Giants twice this year and they still don't get to a Super Bowl or deep into the postseason, then it's not a good signing.
Okay.
Okay.
Super Bowl or bust because of Saquon. Pete says going to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes. Super Bowl or bust.
Super Bowl or bust.
Always that way.
Saquon Barkley agreeing to a deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, just over $37 million over the course of 3 years, $26 million of that guaranteed.